It is Saturday football. Cleveland Browns on the road at the Baltimore Ravens. Matt Brown, Mo Nuwara here for the lines. Going to break this one down for you here, guys. This is sitting anywhere from 19.5 all the way to 20.5 now in favor of the Baltimore Ravens with a total, yes, of 41 in some places, 41.5 at other places. Mo, I'm sure this has happened in my lifetime, and I'm sure this has happened even more recently than my brain wants to remember. That said, off the top of my head, as high as 20.5 and as low as 41, I don't know if I have seen something like this. Again, I don't remember it. Anyway.
Yeah, there's people out there acting like this is like unprecedented. I'm old enough to remember the 55 touchdown Peyton Manning Broncos. They were, I want to say, like minus 26 against, I think, the winless Jags. And then the 2007 Patriots were north of 20 several times down the stretch. I don't think these teams were generally covering. I know that the Broncos didn't, and I think the Patriots mostly were not as well. I think there's probably pretty good reason for that. That being said, I'm not taking the Browns.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone's wondering what's going on here, it's Bailey Zappi is starting for Cleveland. They're going to give DTR apparently some snaps as well. Baltimore wins and they win the AFC North. So it's that whole motivation versus no motivation. It seems like Cleveland might rest some of these dudes that have some lingering injuries as well. So, Mo, we're just kind of sitting here with this like dead team walking, running out of Bailey Zappi, and then Baltimore kind of doing what Baltimore does. That being said, I mean, you know, again, at MGM, we're looking at 20.5. Like, yeah, they have to full on win by 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, and could they? Absolutely. I mean, the Ravens are the Lions of the AFC. I mean, if they can run it up, they often do. That being said, I think if there was ever a spot not to, it's going to be the last game of the season when you don't have a bye. So, do they probably want to get their starters out of there? I would assume yes. But, yeah, it's like you said. I mean, I'm a big believer in these kind of dead teams being the value sides pretty often. I just am worried that the Browns are like full-on shutdown mode. When you start taking all the players off the field, Denzel Ward, David Njoku, Jordan Hicks, Jerome Ford, you got Myles Garrett banged up. I mean, I know Bailey Zappi's probably better than DTR. I don't know how much he moves the needle here, though, because when you start taking the players off the field, then it becomes an organizational tank, and I think that might be what we're looking at here. 14-mile-per-hour winds as well, so that could keep the scoring down overall, which probably favors the dog, but, I mean, I don't really buy into this, like, Ravens defensive resurgence with Kyle Hamilton at safety. I think they've been playing some pretty bad teams, bad offenses and whatever. I want to see it against somebody with a pulse, but I kind of think the Ravens can run this up if they want to. I just don't know if they want to.
Yeah, I started to look, and it's, you know, obviously these books have caught up to kind of how we would normally try to go about playing one of these games. I instantly looked at like, what is a Keaton Mitchell anytime touchdown, right? Because it's like Derrick Henry plays quarter and a half, maybe the first half, they give way in the second half and whatever. Keaton Mitchell anytime touchdowns plus 180. So I mean, it's like the books have like gotten on to,
I would have guessed like plus 400 and been like, I think that's playable.
Yeah. I mean, I instantly looked at it, I'm like, hey, this could probably be some value. And it's like, oh, plus 180 on Keaton Mitchell to score an anytime touchdown. Now, you know, maybe this game, if you're playing DFS or something like that, you look at like a Keaton Mitchell or something. Like, I couldn't tell you because we don't know for sure when they're going to pull all these dudes and stuff. And it's like, like you said, like I was hoping for 4.5 to 1. I'm kind of like, okay, there's a better than a 4-to-1 chance, 4.5-to-1 chance that he plays the whole fourth quarter, in my opinion, given how this game plays out. And I'm like, I'll take a 4-to-1 for him to punch one in the fourth quarter. plus 180. Like the books are like, man, you're not stealing our money. Like it's not happening. So it seems like this is left for kind of single game fantasy or single day fantasy or something like that. Cause I could not recommend a bet at plus 180 for a backup running back that we don't know exactly when he's going to get in the game and actually get some run.
Yeah. I mean, if I was going to look for a prop in this game, I might look at Bailey Zappi over attempts. I just aren't they going to be down multiple touchdowns? And they don't have a running game. With Jerome Ford out, I mean, who is running the ball? I don't even know if Deontay Foreman and Pierre Strong are playing. So I just think whatever, let's let Bailey Zappi huck it around the yard and see what happens, I guess. It's not like he's going to be efficient where he's just getting 20-yard plays or anything. So
no. And even if they decide, okay, Jerry Jeudy, you get to play a half and whatever, there's only so many players on a team. So this is something also that will be the theme of, if you guys follow us for the full Sunday preview as well. Teams will rest key players and stuff, but remember, you still can only have 53 dudes on a roster. So I mean, it's not like one of those deals you can just sit everybody that has any sort of significance whatsoever, right? I mean, they still have to put bodies out on the field, which is why I think the thing that I landed on, and I again haven't put it in the account yet, but so Elijah Moore is not going to have the luxury of coming off the field, right? For the Browns, they just don't have enough body. They put Tillman on IR. They've got all this stuff, so it's kind of I think Elijah Moore is just out there for the duration. And as you said, at some point, the Browns are literally just going to drop back every single down and throw the ball. His number's at 23.5 yards. And it's just kind of look, volume alone on this dude, I'm thinking in the second half, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he gets 6 or 7 targets just in the second half alone when they're down 3 scores. So that's the only one that really kind of came around to me, and I'm sure you can probably tell me I'm crazy there with that.
I mean, I don't think Bailey Zappi is going to throw down the field from watching him. I can tell you that. So I would expect a large amount of shorter throws, and that's probably what the Ravens are going to be happy to give up once they're up, even if they're only up 14 and there's 6 minutes left,
Mm-hmm. No, I'm with you 100%. If someone made me play this, I think I would take the points based off of basically kind of how we've discussed this, where you can be up 27 and the back door still be open, right? I mean, that's one thing to think about here in the fourth quarter, which is this team could be up 27 points and the back door still be open for a trash Bailey Zappi to Elijah Moore touchdown, in the fourth quarter or something like that. So I just couldn't get there. Any thought at all on the total? I mean, again, there's a flat 41 out there.
Yeah, I would think the over. Yeah. But just based on the fact that there's situations where the Ravens are going to score more than 40 themselves. Mm-hmm. But my concern there would be the weather. Yeah. And like I said, the fact that the Ravens might call off the dogs if it's 27-0.
It's just it's such a wild game, guys. Listen, like I said, I think to me, I'll probably end up with a small play on Elijah Moore, and it's basically based off of just the fact that they're going to be trailing, throwing a ton. He can't come off the field. Again, they only have so many players, right? And so it's just you're going to rest Jerry Jeudy before you're resting Elijah Moore. You're going to take care of Jerry Jeudy before you're taking care of Elijah Moore. So I think he could just be out there for the duration here in this one for the Browns. Again, sitting as high as 20.5 out there, as low as 41 on the total for the Browns at the Ravens. Guys, upper right-hand corner of thelines.com is also the Discord if you want to go in there and take a look at what everyone else is thinking there about this game, but certainly something. Imagine there'll be some other opinions here, but tough game to handicap, tough game whenever you're just trying to speculate on when starters are going to get pulled for a team on all that. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button down below, and good luck on your Browns and Ravens bets.